Hi Cancer, here's a general look at your solar chart for April 2011. Now, over this month, you're going to be taking your worldly responsibilities a little bit more seriously, maybe feeling it's important for you to be diligent in projecting an image, a certain image in the eyes of others, but also being more responsible for protecting and maintaining that area, your professional area, because it looks as though you might be having to juggle things around a little bit between home and family and professional area there. Now, Mercury is going retrograde up until the 23rd, so for all of the signs, that kind of slows things down a little bit, gets us to think things through a little bit more carefully, dot the I's, cross the T's, and just go into things a little bit more. Can also mean hold-ups and delays with correspondence and transport and the like as well. So bearing that in mind, professionally, that's where the sun is for you, up until the 20th anyway. You're going to be putting more attention on that. You've got Mercury there too, and Mars as well. So feeling quite ambitious, or quite more drive there, more push in that area there, whether you're in work or looking for work, and also with, higher ups, bosses, so-called people in positions of power and so on. And at times, you could have more interaction with those sorts of people, but also you could cross swords, maybe not overtly, but maybe inside of yourself, particularly around about the 11th to the 14th, and also the 17th to the 19th. A little bit of tension there. So you're going to have to... You get the feeling that you want to keep up with things, and that may be more of a challenge at times. I would say over the first 5 days maybe. That's when striking this balance between family, home, and worldly commitments may be a little bit more difficult. In your personal life, it may mean that you feel it necessary to show consistency, reliability, or authority, and just draw firmer boundaries. Some of you could be having more contact with a parent or guardian figure, and as I said, bosses. They either actual bosses or potential ones, or others, bureaucracy, that kind of thing, red tape. Either way, you'll be more aware that you've got to, because you feel a bit scrutinized, so you've got to show consistency, you've got to show a certain standard, a certain bearing, as it were, and you've got to be patient, cautious as well, and just keep that certain posture, really, and could be some disagreements, as I say, at times, or if they're not agreements, that will be when you feel a little bit more under pressure, a little bit more under tension. Communications are likely to increase as well, a lot of chatting going on, and your thoughts are going to be focused into professional matters, or what I was saying before, image, presentation. And there's a tendency also for you to get a bit scattered, as you may have to handle more than one job at a time. And from the 21st, over the 21st to the 26th, you could have an awful lot on your mind just then, and it can feel as though, you're bearing a bit of a burden there. But also, at that time, you can be very mentally focused and get a lot done. Overall, you can achieve your goals over April and kind of go up the ladder, as it were, because your ambition to succeed is very stimulated. But as far as you can, be your own boss, be the initiator, and work independently whenever possible. So if that's not about professional things, ditto in a way, because again, if you're trying to make the sort of impression you want to make on somebody, then it's good that you you're responsible, as it were, for your actions, but you still do keep this boundary there as well. Until mid-year, Jupiter is swinging open new doors in your career sector. So you've got Jupiter as a big helper there. And that means that the cards are going to be stacked in your favor related to advancement in the world. Whether that means career opportunities or something coming along to expand your overall direction into new areas. And recognition and success could be coming your way, but there may be more than one avenue that you could pursue, you see. So you might have to sort of try, again, this is about this juggling, you might have to sort of separate the wheat from the chaff there and be super organized. As the transit unfolds, the opportunities will be there for you to tap into, and it's unfolding right now. Until the 21st of April, Venus is in an expansive area for you, encouraging you to get away from the humdrum routine. So after everything I've said about, keeping up to the mark with all of this professional or worldly type stuff or status kind of stuff, whenever you can, just escape that, find a means of escape, and get absorbed into something which is refreshing, unfamiliar, and maybe, literally, if you have the time, take yourself off somewhere. It's a great time for a trip. It's a great time for you to be expanding your horizons in some sort of a way. It could even be that you got someone at a distance, a sort of long-distance love relationship, or you've got very warm relations with someone at a distance. And if anybody, is at a distance from you, or who is not from your background or culture, then again, you could be getting those very warm, friendly relationships there. And a love relationship could actually be ignited with somebody who is like a teacher, or somebody who has got a strong connection to a foreign land. Somebody who's very different to you anyway. Now, Neptune makes a very significant move for you Cancerians, because it's going into its home sign Pisces on the 5th of April, a fellow water sign. That's going to bring benefits your way. The blurred boundaries or lack of control over finances, property, or other resources because you partly relied on someone else's rules or requirements will begin to seem less of a concern. Neptune's coming out of that area where it's been for several years, for a short time, few months in 2011, then it goes back in again, but comes out again properly in February 2012. So this move of Neptune will begin to open your mind to a different reality, a separate reality, a new dimension of thought, and you can feel inspired by the truths that you discover. Now, just you Cancerians born in the first couple of days are going to feel this influence most strongly over April, but it could be affecting Cancerians with the sun in later part of the sign, depending on where your other planets are, and we could only know that from your natal chart. Now, Saturn, of course, continues to remind you that family responsibilities, your home life, domestic, the domestic area, activities from the home patch, on the home patch, but from the home patch, that's the area that requires you to be most organized, requires you to put in the most effort, the most consistent effort, home family members. And you may be sort of aiming to kind of tie things up here, tie up loose ends here, tie up things from the past. Things from the past maybe are getting tied up, as around you, even, without your effort at all. And this is the energy of Saturn there. And also, in a way, taking the thread from your ancestry, from your past, from your history, and pulling it through and making it functional in the present, whether that's, some sort of inheritance in your bloodline, or actual, possessions. So pulling that through and being aware of pulling that through, taking more interest in the ancestors, more interest in ancient times. And some of you may be establishing a new base for yourself over the many months of this transit. Maybe there was something to do with another place that you were interested in long, long, long ago, but you never got there. You know, the other side of the world or something. During this transit of Saturn on into 2012, slowly pulling it together, tying up loose ends so that you can actually make the break and go. That's the kind of thing that goes on with that, or one of the ways it can work anyway. And also, you know, don't forget that your inner approach can make an impact on the world you've created around you. So a new approach from you, a new inner approach, a new sort of getting into a new gear emotionally could then trigger outer events which may result in a change of domestic routines or your place on the map, the home setup, over the time Saturn is at the root, and that's where it is, it's at the root of your chart. It could also be that you're more than usually aware of your emotional needs at this time, Cancer. And this is a big one for you. And, you know, your sense of where and with whom you truly belong. And everything, you know, about Saturn, on the one hand, it can make us, puts a squeeze on things. It makes us feel a lack and a scarcity and an absence even more acutely. So it's in this quite emotional area of your chart, your domestic area, your private shell, Cancerian shell nest area. So, you know, there might be like, this is empty, I need somebody or something in here. So it can be working like that for some of you. Or it can be that your environment's really full, but you still have at your core this sense of lack and yearning for something better. Related to this sense of belonging, it's almost like a divine homesickness in a way. And that might not be to do with a human being at all, or a human being that's incarnated now. But this is the kind of deal here with Saturn here. So you need to be looking maybe into that, or checking out what behaviors or attachments or habits of yours are holding you back. Now, Pluto will be in your close one-to-one relationship area for many years, meaning that significant others are likely to transform your life in a meaningful way. And this is the time for you to be claiming your inner power, because you're going to be drawing probably soulmates at times towards you. And we have many. That right person towards you. So we all vibrate. So if you are in your power and in your strength and coming from your back, as it were, then you will pull the appropriate match to you. It kind of works like that, as far as I see it anyway. So this is the time for you to find that and to develop that sense of inner power and draw that right person or right conditions towards you. And you may have to get out of your own way and shift your point of attraction so as to enable the universe to feed you with wherever, whoever, or whatever you need on these fundamental levels of your being. And from the 20th, well, friendships and group involvements are going to be highlighted. And that's it for April. If you know your rising sign, listen to that too and throw another light on what I've said here. And I'll see you the next time.